where the mighty Atlantic meets the graceful Arad, in a country with an illustrious and glorious maritime history, the F1H2O season begins. The UIM F1H2O World Championship launched into its 35th season at the Grand Prix of Portugal in Portimao, the start of another season-long campaign to claim the most coveted title in world powerboat racing. Portimao has become one of the standard and favorite stops on the F1H2O Tour, having hosted the event 16 times and having become the traditional season opener. Situated in the Algarve region, this is one of the most spectacular corners of southern Portugal, a lively tourism destination with all the sun, sea and surf you can ask for. A historic fishing town, Portimao lives and breathes at one with the sea. The breathtaking coastline is overlooked by towering cliffs and rocky shores, with sandy beaches that stretch out as far as the eye can see, attracting visitors year-round. Portimao also boasts some of the best golf links in the country and is famous for its fresh and delectable cuisine, with seafood fresh out of the sea and onto the plate. The sardine dishes of this region are famous, and there's a whole festival dedicated to them, filling the town's restaurants with visitors from all over the country. The crowds once again flocked to the banks of the Arad River to take in the 16th UIM F1H2O World Championship Grand Prix in Portimao, kicking off the 35th season of F1H2O. Those who are brave enough have the chance to experience the thrill of being in an F1H2O boat firsthand with a ride in the F1H2O two-seater, where you can truly taste the thrill and excitement of F1 racing. The team driver lineups for 2018 are almost unrecognizable compared with the previous year after a prolific pre-season of cockpit reshuffles that began the moment the checkered flag dropped in Sharjah to close out 2017. 9 teams and 19 drivers from 12 countries made up the 2018 entry, which boasts 3 multiple world champions and 9 drivers who have climbed onto the top step of the podium. One team that has held firm and steadfast is F1 Atlantic, with local hero and last year's Portimao podium placer Duarte Benavente of Portugal. He continues his solid partnership with Australian Grant Trask, and the Portuguese outfit led the field of teams into the year's first event. Of course, the man to beat is Alex Carella, the 2017 world champion, with his 4th world championship title under his belt. After losing the World Championship to Philipp Schiapp 3 years in a row, he has bounced back and regained the world crown in style last season. But now he's switched the Team Abu Dhabi colors for Victory Blue, and he has a brand new victory boat, the 2018 Challenger.
I was like 8 years, I was in one DAC cockpit, and first time in the victory boat take me some time to all change the sound and everything, so it took me some lap, but after I lap by lap I take the feeling. I'm so happy and proud to race for this team, and I can't wait to try to win the 4 race for them.
He pairs up with 7-time Grand Prix winner Ahmed Al-Hamali under team manager and multiple world champion Scott Gilman. Alex Carella has switched seats with Sean Torrente, who has left Victory Team for Team Abu Dhabi, racing under legendary 10-time world champion and team manager Guido Capellini. He's finished on the year-end podium 4 consecutive times in the last 5 years, and he now has the might of Team Abu Dhabi to back him up in his pursuit of his first world championship.
It's kind of neat because it's our first race, but it doesn't feel like it's our first race because we've been doing so much testing. We've raced at Rouen, I raced XCAT at Fujairah. So we've really spent a lot of time together. I think I have more laps at this point than I did all of last year combined, of all the races. So I'm excited to get started finally. It seems like it was never going to get here.
Torrente will have two outstanding teammates to race alongside him, the veteran, former world number 2 and 7-time Grand Prix winner Thani Al-Khamzi and his talented up-and-coming namesake Rashid Al-Khamzi. In CTIC F1 Shenzhen China team, it's business as usual. The team once again headed by 3-time consecutive world champion and last year's world runner-up Philippe Chiappe of France. Despite kicking the 2017 season off with a win in Portimao, he had faltered yet again in home waters in Evian, France.
For this year, we have only one objective. It's a world champion back.
His teammate Peter Morin is settling in well too, racking up 10 points for the team in 2017, his debut year. In Team Sweden, last year's world number 5 Jonas Andersson is teamed up with Eric Eden. Eric Stark no longer part of the lineup. Last year was a tough one for 2-time world champion Sami Celio of Mad Croc Baba Racing Team. It was just one crash and mishap after another for the Finn in 2017, but he still managed to end the year in 6th place. He'll be teamed up with a young Finn, Philip Roms, once again. Poland's Bartek Marszalek moved to Emirates Racing as the 34-year-old from Warsaw lined up alongside teammate Moritz Stromoy for the second time in his 7-year stint in the championship following his debut in Portimao in 2011. Marszalek's place and Blaze performance has been filled by Simone Bianca Schuft, only the second female driver on the tour this year.
I was before in Formula 2, and the Formula 2 boat has a very big block of the engine, so it reacts more slower and you feel more weight. And this one is more light going and more easy driving, and you feel that it is more flying because you have not the weight in your back. It makes fun. I think I can get used to it, yes.
She'll have the experience of prolific 12-time Grand Prix winner, team leader, boat designer, and builder Francesco Cantando of Italy on her side. And in a last-minute shakeup, last year's world number 3 Eric Stark of Sweden joined Cedric De Guin in Maverick F1 Racing, the Swedish sensation hoping to improve on his first year-end podium in 2017. The Grand Prix of Portugal was once again raced on the Arad River, a 7-pin circuit with one right-hander, tough river currents and tides to negotiate, and 3 straightaways over 400 meters in length.
Well, at the moment now, the biggest issue is to get clear line from the north to the south side, because it's like a small banana all the way, and you want to do it as straight as you can. So going quite far off and wide on the north side of the corner, and then go as straight as you can onto the south corner. That's the issue. But sometimes the wind, the waves, they don't really want to take you there. So this is the key issue. If we can have a straight line, it will be a fast lap for sure.
It's a very technical circuit because you have a lot of different turns and different way, and I think it's a track for experienced driver.
BRM official qualifying was contested over 3 sessions, the field reduced to 12 in Q1, then down to 6 in Q2. In Q3, the last 6 boats have the course to themselves with 2 laps each to lay down the fastest time in a bid for pole position. In Q1, Sami Celio stormed off the pontoon with engine problems early on. He was unable to get a good lap time in. Eric Stark was off the pace, struggling and unable to qualify for Q2. Eric Eden of Team Sweden was in the top 12 and set for a Q2 showing, putting in 22 laps before Francesco Cantando found the speed with minutes left and bumped Eden out. Cedric De Guin is also out in Q1, as is newcomer Simone Bianca Schuft. In Q2, it was a showdown between Duarte Benavente and Peter Morin of CTIC F1 Shenzhen, China. Back and forth between the two before Peter Morin squeezes Benavente out to qualify for his first ever top 6 in Q3. Bad luck for Jonas Andersson, the fastest man in Q1. He barely makes it back to the pontoon with a sinking boat due to a delamination issue. Marit Stromoy was unable to find the pace she needed, finishing 8th.
I had a couple of boats that was trying to do everything to destroy my moment, so they ended up in the Q3, and let's see if karma hits them. I hope it does.
In Q1 and Q2, it's all about finding that clean water and seizing those rare opportunities where you can find them. Some teams can use that to their advantage, and strategy is key. Rashid Al-Khamzi is out in Q2, but his teammates Torrente and Thani Al-Khamzi are through to the final 6. Also out in Q2 were Francesco Cantando and Grant Trask. Q3, Peter Morin was out first, setting a time of 42.16. But would it be good enough? Next out was Alex Corella. The Italian victory ace beats Morin's time, 42.02, but unable to break the 42-second mark. Then Team Abu Dhabi's Sean Torrente heads out. He's racing with all guns blazing. An incredible run. He smokes Corella's lap time and takes provisional pole with a blistering 41.68 with 3 more boats to go.
Yeah, but this is worse than doing the lap. Waiting for, he's waiting for everybody else. I left a little bit too, that's the problem. That's why I'm worried. If I got everything, we would be worried.
Torrente's teammate was also fast, very fast. He broke the 42-second mark as well. Doesn't beat his teammate, but leaves Corella behind to take second position with a 41.75 lap time. Ahmed Al-Hamali of victory doesn't make a dent in Torrente's time, nearly half a second off the pace. That left one man who could spoil the party for everyone, Philipp Schiap. He goes all out. His first lap is fast, but not enough to take pole. 1 lap left. Torrente is all nerves. Can he get his 4th career pole position? Schiap lays down the final lap, and it's not enough. Torrente has it. Torrente gets pole position. Torrente got pole position. Thani Al-Khamzi naps P2. Corella starts 3rd on the starting grid. Then Al-Hamali, Schiap, and Peter Morin with a best ever pontoon position in 6th.
Yeah, let me tell you, man. Like I said, 6 months of preparation for the season. I love the work that we put in. It shows with us being 1st and 2nd. It shows how strong the team is. So hopefully we can do the same tomorrow, get a good start, and finish this off in the right way. Start the season correct.
Day's racing over, teams, drivers, and their families and crew got a chance to wind down and enjoy some sumptuous Portuguese hospitality as Portimao welcomed F1H2O to their town for the 16th time. Race day. Torrential rains would make visibility extra challenging, but some drivers knew these conditions well.
I know this kind of condition when we race in 24 hours, so no problem to race. Visibility is just the minimum. We have to be careful.
The rain cleared, the parade lap commenced, and the sun even made a brief appearance as boats lined up on the start pontoon. But things weren't looking sunny for Celio and Mad Croc Baba.
Yeah, we have been struggling technical issues all week, and that's it. 0 points for Portugal and a lot of broken engines, and now we need to go back to workshop and see what's going on and try to fix everything to London.
I start from 4th position behind my teammate. He's in the 3rd position. My right hand is going to be Philip Chip, so it's going to be a hard start today.
The starting lineup, it's a Team Abu Dhabi 1-2 leading the field with Torrente on pole and Thani Al-Khamzi beside him. Then 2 victories to their right with 2 CTIC boats beside them. Local eyes on Benevente starting in 7th. Stromoy and Anderson at the back with De Guin and Simone Schaup. The final seconds, drivers ready, final preparations complete. The silence before the roar as the 35th F1H2O season is about to get underway. It's on! Torrente and Alcamzi start well. Carella has a tough start, falling back as Schiap and Alhamali lock horns in the long opening straightaway to the commitment buoy. Danny Alcamzi begins to pull away from his teammate, pole sitter Sean Torrente, as they lead proceedings. Carella struggling to keep up. Eric Stark and Eric Eden going head-to-head with Eric Eden leading. Stark gains on his fellow Swede, but Eden pulls away. The fleet gets to the commitment buoy. Torrente there first with that inside line advantage. Alcamzi right behind him. Alhamali is third, but Carella cuts in tight on the turn to go neck and neck with his victory teammate, and Alhamali and Carella fight for third. Alhamali on the outside shuts out Carella as they come around buoy 7. But there's Schiap, even farther on the outside. He has the speed and he pounces, passing Carella on the next buoy. Now his teammate Peter Marin on the attack. He also passes Carella as he slips up coming around buoy 6. Grant Trask is also gaining on Carella, the Australian F1 Atlantic driver going all out to try and move up into 6th position, but Carella holds firm as Trask negotiates the spray. It's an ideal start for Team Abu Dhabi and Torrente, the American leading in the opening laps as he begins his 2018 campaign. Bartek Marsalek is passed by Moritz Stromoy, who goes up against Jonas Anderson, and the two collide! Here it is from Stromoy's onboard as Anderson and Stromoy crash into each other, and they're out of the race. Anderson's engine on fire. He's fine as he gets out quick and turns off the main electrical circuit. Disappointment for Team Sweden as their woes continue. One day sinking, the next day burning. Not a good start to the year. Osprey Rescue Team quick on the scene, rescuing driver and the boat before it sinks.
It was quite hard. We came from two completely different lines, and he came from the outside, I turned the inside, and bang. I was lucky I didn't flip over. Går det bra?
Jag bara svängde spray, jag såg inget. If you meet a Norwegian woman, it's problem if you are Swede. Not my weekend, huh?
The yellow flag bunch up and the field back in starting order with all gains reset as Team Abu Dhabi boats are followed by the blue victories to their rear, followed by 2 CTIC boats. The green flag goes up, the race is back on lap 4. This is Alex Carella's chance to take on Alcamzi and see if he can get into second position as the two go neck and neck, but Alcamzi holds the Italian off. Meanwhile, it's a bad start for Ahmed Alhamali as first Schiap overhauls the victory driver, then Peter Marin, the 2 CTIC Frenchmen moving up into 4th and 5th respectively. Alex Carella unable to dislodge Alcamzi, but he holds on to 3rd. Further back, Marsalek overtakes the lone Mad Croc driver, Philip Roms, the young Finn driving blind through Marsalek's spray. Lap 5, the field reduced to 16 boats. The leader, Sean Torrente, with nearly a second lead on his teammate Alcamzi. Carella 3rd, then Schiap and Marin chasing in 4th and 5th. Benavente holds on to 7th after the restart. The Portuguese driver, a podium placer here last year. 8th is Cantando of Blaze, then Grant Trask, the Aussie driver in 9th. Eric Eden in 10th, followed by last year's world number 3, Eric Stark. The two Erics having passed Rashid Alcamzi in 12th for Team Abu Dhabi. Eric Eden moves up on Grant Trask's port side, trying to wrest 9th from the Aussie, and the young Team Sweden driver does it. He moves up a spot as Trask now is the one chasing Eric Eden. Grant Trask now has another Swede to contend with, Maverick F1 racer Eric Stark, as Stark also overhauls the F1 Atlantic driver. Trask bumped down to 12th as the two Erics battle it out in 9th and 10th. Team Abu Dhabi with 1st and 2nd positions. You would wonder why they look worried, but now they know that there's the task of winding through the back markers without losing speed, rhythm, and momentum, while also avoiding any possible mishaps or collisions. Torrente and Alcamzi also have to hold off 2 multiple world champions who are right behind them, Schiap and Carella, with 7 world championships between them. These two drivers have taken turns at denying the other of a fourth consecutive world title, a feat only ever achieved by Guido Capellini. Further back, the inter-Swedish rivalry continues between the two Erics. Rookie Erik Eden leading his former Team Sweden teammate Eric Stark, who was a last-minute inclusion in Portimao with his new team Maverick F1 Racing. Another driver out is Philip Roms, ending a dismal first round for Mad Croc Baba, the field reduced to 15 boats by lap 10. Local hopeful Duarte Benavente is racing steady. No drama there as he continues to hold on to 7th, but behind him is 12-time Grand Prix winner Francesco Cantando in his new Blaze boat. Cantando having had a lackluster few seasons on the tour, wanting to get back in the points with a good start here as he eyes Benavente's 7th position. Radio men and women face a race-long task of helping their drivers negotiate the circuit and especially in clearing their way around backmarkers. Peter Marin's radio person tries to secure a path for him around Cedric de Guin, who's currently in 13th. And there's the 2018 newcomer Simone Bianca Schuft for Blaze Performance Team, is currently in 15th. By lap 21, the race is firmly still in Team Abu Dhabi's grasp as Torrente and Al-Khamzi lead proceedings in this 48-lap race. The drama continues in the timing area as Torrente's radio man runs up to Team Sweden and tries to get Erik Eden out of his man's way as the lead drivers negotiate their way through the back markers. The dogfight continues between Alex Carella and Philippe Chiappe, the Frenchman wanting to wreak his revenge on the man who denied him 4 world titles in a row, the white CTIC moorboat chasing Carella's blue Victory 2018 Challenger. Alex Carella pushing his boat to the limit, almost losing control as he carves and weaves around the back markers. Chiappe swerves offline through Carella's spray, losing speed before getting back on target. But Carella also falters, and Chiappe finally finds the speed to pass Alex Carella in this battle of the world champions. Alex Carella bumped down, experiencing some trim issues out there. Philippe Chiappe is up in 3rd position. Now he's the one setting the Team Abu Dhabi boats in his sights with just 14 laps left in the race. There's Bartek Marchalet, last year's world number 10, racing for Emirates and trying to move up from 13th position. Bad luck for Grant Trask, the F1 Atlantic driver is out of the race, as is Cedric de Guin, reducing the field further down to 13 boats. With 10 laps to go, what a race Peter Marin is putting in just his 2nd season on the tour. He's in 5th place, chasing down 4-time and defending world champion Alex Carella with 1.21 seconds to close. Meanwhile, Sean Torrente, the runaway race leader, just has a few more laps for his first win of the season, with Al-Khamzi and Chiappe closing in as he tries to get past backmarker Ahmed Al-Hamali. Torrente's radio man working behind the scenes, exchanging words with Al-Hamali's radio man Scott Gilman in these closing stages. The final lap, Sean Torrente on his way to taking his 4th career Grand Prix win as he races to the finish line and the checkered flag to claim his first ever Portuguese Grand Prix. Daniel Al-Khamzi, runner-up for a brilliant Team Abu Dhabi 1-2. What a start to the season for Capellini's crew. What a start to the season for Sean Torrente.
That boat is ridiculous. It is so damn good. I just managed the race. They told me my gap. I kept it at 4 or 5 seconds the whole time and just managed it. The end got a little sketchy because I know my old best friend, not really, wasn't going to let me by. So I just managed in the race, but it was great.
Al-Khamzi runner-up, adding 15 to his tally. Chiappe on the podium. Carella 4th for 9 points. What a result for Peter Marin, emerging from Chiappe's shadow to take 7 points. Good result for a very consistent Benavente in home waters, coming in 7th.
Very good. I'm very happy today to finish the race 2nd. And we team made first and 2nd. For start season, very good. I'm happy today for my boat, for my mechanic, for my teammate, team manager, everyone. Thank you.
Team Abu Dhabi continues where it left off. Last year's team champions start the new season on top with a maximum 35 points. CTIC in 2nd with that brilliant run from Peter Marin, and in 3rd, Victory with 14 points.
No, it's a very hard race, and it was funny for me because I like these tracks and a lot of wave. I do push and the boat fly everywhere. It's good fighting with Carella and after with Tani, and I have a very good setup. The season starts well, and for sure we work for London.
was just a perfect weekend. It's the way it's supposed to be. You know, we tested, we prepared for a few months and for 1 month just for this event. And we got here, we put the best motor on that we knew we had. We both knew which props we were going to run from testing, and we went out there and just executed, just did our jobs. No more, no less, and you see the result. It's great.
Torrente off to a brilliant start with his new team. His teammate Alcamzi right behind him. Chiap and Corella know they'll have their work cut out for them this season against Team Abu Dhabi. That concludes the Portuguese Grand Prix, round 1 of the 2018 season. See you in London for the first UIM F1H2O World Championship Grand Prix in 33 years.